we could potentially be doing things to our bodies right now that our kids and our kids' kids and our kids' kids and our kids' kids are going to have issues with. Again, theoretical, still mice, but worrisome. Developmental plasticity. Our bodies are plastic, and what plastic means is they're changeable. They're always changing. We're always trying to do things in life that make ourselves better, and our mind actually tries to follow that. Why is the person who's mentally always depressed and frustrated more sick versus the guy who's walking around happy all the time less sick? There's something about how the mind controls it. There's developmental plasticity. Things happen the way we want them to. We can change rapidly. The epigenome is showing us that. The code of life was put in place purposely to be able to change when the environment changes. The problem is we're messing it up. So let's say potato famine comes in, there's no more potatoes, and now we can only eat broccoli. The probability is the body will find a way to metabolize the broccoli and do what we need it to do and say, okay, we're fine without the potatoes. But I don't think our bodies were meant to detoxify as much stuff we're putting into it that's not natural. And then that's where the trigger comes in. So we want to go back to what I believe is nature. Nature has taught us everything. And this one is interesting again. Mismatch of perceived environment in infancy versus adult environment. They did studies and looked at retrospective review of mothers who were starved during the period of pregnancy, and they looked at their offspring. They had a much higher rate versus controls of obesity. So theoretically, you'd think, genetically, what happened was during that period of time of starvation, the newborn inside mom said, okay, I'm not getting a lot of food. I better learn how to hold on to food. Some people call this the thrifty gene concept. People who lived in starvation for long periods of time hold on to food very well. Now you take that person and put them in Wendy's for every day for 5 years, what happens? They hold on to food very well and everything that goes along with it. As Dr. Weil says, you know, he laughs at people like me because I'm the one guy who would start when the famine comes, I'm dead first. You know, because I metabolize everything like that, but I'm gone. I mean, I'll be out of here because he's like, it's not fair. He can eat anything he wants. And granted, I don't, but I could eat 2 pizzas and not gain a pound. But when that famine comes, I'm checked out within 2 days because I can't, you know. Yeah, I'm a shell as it is. Questions? I know I just went on a long rampage, so, and I need a drink, so. Oh, it's not beer, by the way. Nobody? Vitamin D, big questions, that's the same. All right, boring, all right, fine. Everything's connected. Modern medicine has taught us that if you have a heart defect, you deal with the heart. You got a brain defect, you deal with the brain. You got an allergy defect, you deal with the allergist. Nobody's putting the whole picture together, you know? You have one problem, you go here, then you go here, then you go here, and your family doc's trying to put it all together, but we were never taught to keep it all under control. We're taught to manage 7 different drugs for 7 different diseases, but not look at the whole picture. Integrative medicine, functional medicine says, let's look at the whole picture first, and then deal with those things if we have to until we can fix it so the whole picture gets rid of those medicines. Everything is connected. The data's pouring it out. I'm going to show you one thing that's very cool. And it's very naive for us to think now that we should be treating things as single entities. They're not. The whole body connects to itself. Everyone knows irritable bowel syndrome. You get nervous, what happens? Your gut goes crazy. Well, mind, gut, connected. There was a great study that recently just came out that showed us that when you exercise, instead of just burning calories, which we've always thought is the reason we lose weight, your bone cells physically talk to your pancreas and says, do a better job. Kid you not. Great study. The pancreas will release more insulin and have better receptor binding affinity, so your body will now deal with your glucose better if you exercise. Nature intended. You got to hunt down your darn food. Exercise, deal with it. Sitting on a couch watching a video game, eating a bag of chips, not going to do it. Pancreas doesn't work as well. What fits in your busy schedule better? Exercising 1 hour a day or being dead 24 hours a day? I mean, you know, it's funny, but how many people in this room exercise? Great crowd. God, can't even stump anyone. All right. Usually I get like half the hands, but that's because it's mostly doctors. Oh, well, yeah. All right. Who wins? Darwin. You know, I love Homer Simpson. You know, running, you know, great thing. Sitting on the couch, not so good. You know, in the old days, natural selection took care of all the bad things. Truly. You know, you had a bad disease in the old days, you died young, you didn't reproduce, and the disease didn't continue. I mean, really. I mean, it's true. Now what do? We keep everything alive. Don't matter what it is. And if it gets to reproductive scenario, we're passing on something potentially that's problematic. So we're now repeating potential problems. Darwinian theory, which was a very good theory, was natural selection said you're not supposed to continue because that one wasn't as good. Not a humanistic theory, but it's a reality theory.